Alright, what's up YouTube? Strom here, and we are back with my tower. So, it has been about a week and a half or so. I don't think anything crazy again has happened, but we've definitely had a nice amount of progression here. So, just starting with the lifetime coins, just about 23 trillion we're coming up on now. And looks like coming up on 7 trillion in workshop, almost 6 trillion in the lab. And just looking recently, pushed a little bit on these tiers, but not much else has really changed. I'm going to try and push tier 11, see how far I can get. And then I still have to run these bottom 3 tiers and just try to see how far I can get those. But yeah, man, these trillions are just really flying by. It's kind of crazy. And then I'm sure once I get to the queues will fly by, and that's a whole other story. That's months and months, probably a year plus down the line. I did, just because I feel like, why not? I ended up buying the milestone pack for this tier here, and that gave me enough stones to fiddle in the workshop. So before I even forget, I'll just jump to that. So I put 1 into Deathwave quantity. Deathwave is synced up with everything now, or rather with Golden Tower and Black Hole. I got a quant in Chain Lightning and a chance as well. I think another click or 2 in damage. And then I believe I've also dropped another into Black Hole duration and 2 clicks into size. Including the substat here. So we're going to work on the GT bonus and get these durations up as well. And I'm still kind of floating the ideas with my ultimate weapons. Like, I really think just biting the bullet once these are, once Golden Tower and these durations are pretty satisfactory, I would say probably get Spotlight, get that damage and econ boost. On the other hand, I want CC, but my only CC is this, and this is 4,000 plus stones to be useful. So it's kind of a spot to be in, I suppose. But I'm happy with how Chain Lightning is developing, since I'm still pretty early in the game. And Chain Lightning is the cheap damage. So a little more chance, probably another quantity. I think I'll use this tournament result, get the chance out of the way, and then over the next couple of tournaments, we will get the econ pumping again, because there's definitely been some nice progression going on there. So, like I said, we are at the 23 trillion, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a 1 trill run, but I'll pop up my recent farm runs here on screen. So the highlighted ones, starting at the bottom with the yellow, is my first run with Deathwave synced with everything. So, and I believe it was an overnight, but I was very happy with that. Quite the jump from the almost 450 billion beforehand. And then tier 10, it kind of settled around the mid 600s, which I was very, very pleased with as well. Up to the blue is when I started testing Galaxy Compressor again against the Sync Harness. And Galaxy Compressor is winning out. It's the top one. So I've just slapped Galaxy Compressor back on for now, because the difference wasn't too... how should I say? The difference wasn't too crazy when Singularity Harness beat it out the last time that I was testing both of these. But now that it's significantly losing, despite more gold bot investment, obviously sync would fix the issue, but if Gcomp is winning out, then why worry and why mess with cooldown and all that right now when Gcomp is, even though it doesn't exist in my polls, it's doing just fine. And then up top, the red one is my most recent run with the new modules, which I will show in just a bit there. And recent tourney results. Looks like I should be staying still, so kind of just hanging out in 16 to 24 land for champion, which I don't mind. I did try to run again, and I thought, 723, maybe I can beat that. And as soon as my second win popped, I slowed the game down to about like 2 times speed, and I still got swarmed immediately and just instantly died before being able to pop demon mode. So I'm hoping I'm not getting leapfrogged down here, but 2 hours left. I would hope some of these guys have run, so we'll see. But it looks like I'm safe for now, and just kind of comfortably in the 16 to 24 range. So battle conditions were pretty rough today. Armored, attack speed. I gotta get used to this one, but this sucks. Energy, more bosses, all the good stuff. So then I will throw my bracket here, my placement timeline. It looks like I had a rough bracket. I mean, the top one up here, apparently the top one I could have been in 7th, and then there's a couple with 9th, 10th. So to me, that's just a little crazy, but I'm not expecting to be like top rank champ brackets anytime soon. So we will keep developing there, see how things keep progressing. And Goldbot, as I had mentioned, I ended up just getting, everything except this so far. However, apparently FUDS is promising people who believe in Defense Absolute that their time is coming. So I guess I have to bite the bullet. I'm either getting hard trolled or the inevitable buff to Defense Absolute is coming. So I will probably end up getting this as well. Probably get a stone pack later. And everything is just hanging out as the two metal clicks into duration. I was gonna consider getting bonus the 1 click, but since I have to buy this, I imagine that holding off on clicking this is gonna be the play, because again, I'm not expecting a rerun, but if it's just themes I have to buy next event, then that's just as fine with me. And as usual, my guild is killing it. Everyone's pretty much throwing their weight in. Everyone hits 30, 35 by the end of the week, so I'm not worried there. Still running fetch and steal. I have thrown some points in finally with the cooldown. Fine chance. I've seen a couple effective hats thrown around, so there's one I have saved that I've been following. And then steal, same amount of investment. I haven't touched it. I do want to get their cooldowns synced together, but that's kind of low priority for now. That's probably like a 2 or 3 week out thing, given how the cooldown will scale. More gems. Happy to take that. And then, I already went over ultimate weapons. I'm not going to forget again. so that's why I had to do it first. Damage and health are both at 52 now. And I did, actually, I will go over this in a bit, but I respec the wall so that I could do the labs. So once I'll talk about the labs in a bit, but I am going to go through and get my labs done for the wall and just see how things play out with it. Everything I'm imagining should be pretty smooth sailing, so I'm just hoping to see some nice gains with the wall. So probably in the next video or 2 videos, we'll check in on that, and then everything else pretty much the same. I think I had like another click in level skips. Yeah, I'm eventually going to start dumping more in health, but for now I'm just going to keep them even. And then once these are like this, yeah, I can justify maxing this, just getting it out of the way, but like eventually I would like to have these all fully maxed out, but whatever. You know, that'll come eventually. And I believe one of these might have had 10 more clicks, but I'm not, not a big deal. Free ups take care of everything and attack anyway if I'm not microwaving. So nothing too different there. Same thing with cards. More of the rares are getting there, thankfully. I think things stay the same. Plasma or recovery might be the first to max out of these, but we'll see. Things can always change. I would love Crit Coin to get maxed out next event, or to 6. And then none of the epics have leveled up yet. I think I pulled 1 or 2 this event, so we will wait and see still. Oh yeah, I gotta change these back for my overnight. And going to mods. So, as I mentioned, G-Comp, I think I will re-roll for package chance on this, but as you can see, I have drained my rolls again. And what did I get? I got GT bonus, which I'm very, very happy with. Black hole size, also very happy with. And then I was nearing the end of my rolls, so I had Chain Lightning and landmine damage, so I just said, hey, that's good enough for me for now. That'll do quite well. I did give up the Death Wave quantity that was mythic last time, but for this I think is a pretty fine trade-off. So we will keep rolling on this eventually. I don't know if I'll reroll the Chain Lightning damage, but it's nice seeing multiple small Qs in my runs now with Chain Lightning. So that's always neat. And you may notice another cannon has joined the party. I pulled another Astral Deliverance, and I'm working on the rolls. I've got crit and attack speed, and I believe Bounce Shot Chance is better, but again, I was at the end of my rolls, so I just settled with these 2, and we'll work on rolling it eventually, because I think that should be replacing Being Annihilator. I know there's an interaction with Chain Lightning in this, and I think especially with Dim Core and Tournament, that'll be a nice boost in damage. But just for the consistency and damage that this gives me right now, I feel like it's just overall better in Tournament. But that'll change soon. So yeah, Singularity Harness is taking a backseat for now. I did pull another one, so I have 2 more to make that Ancestral. At that point, I'm very curious if 15 range is going to be enough to push it over. I mean, Galaxy Compressor at Legendary with no package substat beating it out probably tells me no. But if I throw in Sync, is that worth it? I'm not sure. So I'll kind of just keep my eyes open on these on these generators for now, because it's really just these two. Like Pulsar is there just for tournament, kind of, but I don't have, I think, Black Hole Digester or whatever, the one that when you get coins per kill boosted, uh, or I think it's like free ups boost the coins per kill. Still haven't got that. Still don't have project funding. I mean, I'm convinced I'll find the project funding before that digester. I believe I found another wormhole, yeah, but not enough to take it to Mythic yet. And then since I'm going to get the wall, I imagine that I will be swapping to the anti-cube, and I think the shockwave size might actually help, given that I'll have a wall around me now. But I'm going to need to roll for defense here, so we'll see how that goes. And then not much else is happening here. Still waiting on another Multiverse Nexus. I think at Mythic it'll be worth experimenting with over Harmony, since it is just a stat stick. But I mean, the fact that I have Natural Sync already, it might let me play around with the cooldowns if I end up using it as a primary. But for now, I don't feel the need to test this. But if it gets to Mythic, then I think there's more consideration for me to have here. So for now, it's just Harmony for farming, and then Dimension for tournament. And just to throw in the last couple of pulls here. There's that Astral. Another wormhole. And then there were like, excuse me, there were 2 dimension cores. Like, I don't know, if we went like 2 or 3 more pages back, something like that, they were relatively close together. So mods have been doing pretty well in that regard, but reroll shards, my beloved, keeping that in for quite a bit. I'm at the point relatively close that I can consistently have three times speeds going. And since I mentioned last video, I'm going to stop Chrono Field at 20. I don't think I'm ready to go all in on Chrono, obviously, since I have a lot more econ to worry about. But this will be eventually something nice to max out down the line once I'm ready to go all in. But I'm so happy to finally max out standard perk bonus. So we'll free up these slots. I'm going to end Goldbot here as well. Transition to at least 3 of the wall labs. I know this is really good. And then these are all relatively cheap levels. I think like 12, 13, something like that is somewhere where Wall Thorns wants to be. I'm not sure about the rest. Like I have a couple of like wall notes saved, but off the top of my head, I don't quite remember all of these. But I know this is probably like the most important one that makes the wall really, really good for EHP. So we'll work on getting these wall labs going, get a good wall, and then just kind of keep developing once those slots are full again. I will probably keep like 1 lab going for all, for the wall consistently, but maybe rotate in 3 labs once they're mostly developed, and then go back to 1, rotate the 3 back in, get them to like another good stopping point, and then go back to 1, you know. But this is like 2 weeks at 3x to max out daily mission, and then this is at least like a month plus to max out. So I'm gonna swap between these two. I really just want the more more shards, so I'm gonna keep this going for now. But I think throwing package chance once I have the slots again is going to be very helpful since I am using G-Comp. And then on top of getting the substat once I start rolling again for that, that'll be nice. I would like to get 5th ban eventually. I'll have to redo my bans with the wall also and remember that, but that'll be happening. Get coins per kill back in the lab. That'll be nice. And I'm not sure about this. Like, I know I am going to get it, yes. Let me take this off also. I am going to take, take this eventually. I just don't know if... I would have to do testing if adjusting the orbs maybe in tournament to hit the boss with Energy Net is worth it. I'm not sure, because, I'm still not going to get a large amount of CC value out of it, but it's something I guess worth considering in the future still. So that's why it's just hanging out in favorites. I haven't really made a huge decision with it yet. And then I probably would like to get a couple levels of this, but I know it's going to get expensive and lengthy. So, it'll make the climb towards 141 slightly more bearable, but that's also why daily mission is, I mean, 2 weeks is pretty easy to bang out. So we'll eventually take care of that, take care of the wall. And that's going to be the main outlook, I think, for the future. So I somehow managed to, I would say, limit myself on labs tonight. And I'll definitely keep it brief. I think I will finish with the relic stats, but just a good mod pull for the video. Why not? Hey, we got something. A Havoc Bringer. Nothing exciting, so I think that brings me... Yeah, I have 2 now. So I'll just merge it so I don't forget about it, but hey, there's our mod luck used up for now. So I'll leave it there. We'll go with my my relic stats real quick. So I haven't got anything else from the guild shop. I actually didn't even properly go through that, I realize, but nothing's changed. With the next box, I will get the bot range here. I got fetch, post nerf, but I still got fetch. And those, hey, those gems and metals are coming in pretty handy. A couple hundred extra reroll shards every run adds up also, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, so let's go to the relics again. And we will we'll sign off with this one, guys. Appreciate you all checking everything out. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a good night wherever you are. And keep on towering. I'll catch you in the next one.